Its black gates are guarded by more than just orcs. There is evil there that does not sleep. And the great eye is ever watchful. It is a barren wasteland, riddled with fire and ash and dust. The very air you breathe is a poisonous fume. Not with 10,000 men could you do this. It is folly.
We now have but one choice. We must face the long dark. Be on your guard. There are older and fouler things than orcs in the deep places of the world.
Hello again everyone, and welcome to episode 2 in a video series I have decided to craft primarily because, well, I enjoy doing it, and sometimes I get bored. But either way, for those wondering, episode 1 would have been the Darkhelm Residence, even though I did not label it as such, as part of this series. But it's true that even back on live, there were times when I enjoyed separating myself from the battle du jour to just go wandering around, principally looking for places I'd never been before. It was most often an interesting diversion which at times would yield interesting results. This video represents one such occasion. Yesterday I took a break from the war which never ends and headed for Cinderfall, where I found not only a unique location previously undiscovered, well, at least by me, but an interesting representation of the Warhammer lore as well. Well, consequently, this video will probably be of most interest to those who are immersed in the Warhammer lore, but I hope any and all who watch it do find it entertaining. So off we go. As you can see, I'm in Thunder Mountain, just to the north of the Dwarf keep of Carrot Palek. Now I'm going to bring up the map here just in case there's somebody that actually wants to go to this location. You can see where I start out, and you can follow the path here. I'm going to try to keep this at a minimum with the edits just to get to the... Oh look, I'm being shot at by Ogg's Finisher. Finisher. Well, that means I should have been taken out with his third shot, because Finisher. But whatever. I crossed into Cinderfall, and again what I was saying is I'm going to leave some of the travel video in here just in case anybody wants to go to this place and see what I found. But Cinderfall, I mean, I've always found Cinderfall interesting because of the ambience and the terrain, and it just when you talk about locations, I think Cinderfall is as close to Mordor, which I had a couple clips, from Lord of the Rings voice clips in my opening. But this is about as close as you can get to Mordor, I think, anywhere in the Warhammer world. Now there's our destination up ahead. If you can see, just to the upper right a little bit, there's a dwarf head, and the cavern sort of forms its mouth. That's where we're headed, and there it is on the map. That's where I wound up. And this particular segment of video is actually a retake. I went back and filmed going in because the first time I found this place I didn't start recording till I was actually underground. So I went back and did this, and you have to kill those guys to get across this little footbridge, and you have to kill the bright wizard looking dudes there first, because before you can get up to the entrance to the cave you have to kill all those guys ahead of you. So I do that. And now I'm going to leave a little segment in here just to illustrate something else that I found interesting. You see the cat, whatever kind of, mountain lion thingy that is, but watch what happens here. Look at that, a complete disable. And I just think that's odd that a level 36 mob would have a better disable than one of the character classes, particularly my character class, but hey, I'm not complaining. Really. So anyway, you go down into the Dwarf's mouth there, and maybe I should rephrase that. Whatever. But you go down into the cave, and you got all these Drak wardens down here. The Cult of Drak. There's a PQ like that not far away, but you got to kill some of them. And there's a three-way intersection there. As you can see, I'm now in this three-way intersection. And to get to the location that I discovered, you go to the middle. You go straight ahead. And then you start a spiral down. Kill a couple other guys, and you keep spiraling down to the left until you reach the bottom. And in a moment here, I'm going to transition back to the original video that I took the first time I came in to this particular cave. So I'm just, you can see there's a lot of room here. You keep going and going, but okay. So I pull these guys in, have to kill them, and now I'm transitioning back to the original video. I come around, and there's a quest giver here, and I took this just because I was here. So I took the quest, you know, to find this satchel and just to have something to do. And you come around, you'll come into a T intersection. Now, to the left are a bunch of zombie-like creatures, and to the right, I went this way, and look, lo and behold. At first I wasn't sure what I was looking at, but there they are, some dwarfs called the Sons of Valaya. And they're apparently chaos dwarves. They don't look like chaos dwarves, but they are, you know, flagged red, so which means you got to run up, if you're going to get past, you got to run up and kill them. But I just thought this was odd. I mean, I'm not that much into the Warhammer lore that I would know who these guys are, the Sons of Valaya, but they got to be here for a reason. So I did an image search for Valaya, and truthfully, this was the first one that came up. However, I don't really think she looks like that. She probably looks more like this, because, you know, dwarves. But as it turns out, and I'm sure many of you know this, it is part of the lore. There is someone named Valaya. She's a dwarf goddess of home and healing, which again makes me wonder why these guys down in the in Cinderfall there are flagged as enemies of order. You know, are flagged like as if they're chaos, but you know, you don't usually associate chaos with such warm and fuzzy things as home and healing. But you know, she's the wife of Snorri and Dory, whatever, goddess of the hearth, healing, and brewing. Well, how many gods of brewing do dwarfs need? I found this interesting, that they would have a temple flanked by statues, and I did not find that down there. I'll just go ahead and say. But I still wonder why these guys are marked as, are flagged as chaos, because it says the cult of Valaya is allied with Sigmar, the cult of Sigmar, and everybody knows how righteous Sigmar is. So it's just kind of a little mystery. So let's go back and see what else is down here. Now I'm just kind of exploring, which again is something I like to do from time to time. Just look around places. So I'm looking for both the satchel to complete the quest and just to see what else is down here. And lo and behold, I round a corner, and here's some more of those Sons of Valaya. And you can see where I am on the map. I'm way out of the red circle. So, but I see a door, and I want to know if it opens, and if not, is there anything else back there? So, you know, I'll take a quick moment to kill these two in context of the game. You know, I kind of felt bad about having to off these guys, but you know, that's the way it is. So the door doesn't open. I see that, but there is something else back there. There's right there. There's a guy with a blue name over his head. So obviously, I want to get back there and see who that is. So you got to go up, of course, and I'll edit this part out, but you got to go up and kill all these guys to get back to the door, see who that is. And I left the sound on here because when I found this guy, Bergron Farah Benson, I wanted to hear what he had to say.
At long last! At last! Hammer it! I once burned a hedgehog. Never grab a lady's grindles. Grab it by the udders and make it sing! Bright Gromney's greasy apron. He's bloody stupid. I once stuffed a badger. By Grimnir's spit. Elves can bloody trust them.
Yeah.
Goggle and spit. I'm busy.
Never grab a lady's grindles. I guess that's good advice. Okay, now for the rest of the time here, well, I'm basically looking for the satchel just to complete this little quest. But I do find one other thing as I'm headed back. And there's a pile of glowing rocks that I come across, as you can see here. So of course, anytime you see something that glows, what do? You go up and click on it, and out comes Wolgrig. It's his satchel you're looking for if you come down here and take the quest. But he comes out, and you get a bestiary unlock, you know, for killing him. And it does show up in the Tomb of Knowledge. There it is, Wolgrig, and he's listed as a zombie. So it's just a bestiary unlock that you get. But you know, those are always cool. So now I spend some time running around looking for the satchel, which I find right here, not that far actually from the quest giver, which is usually the case in places like this. Alright, so got to get rid of that guy, and then I run up to turn in the quest and see if there's anything else, see if there's anything, you know, some other place that may lead me to give information about why these guys are down here. But no, it doesn't. Alright, so I went online, did a little bit more research, just because I'm curious. So, Valaya, it says here, ancestor goddess of home and healing. And she founded many dwarf hodes, which this was interesting, including Karazakarak and Karak 8 Peaks, which of course is the area of Thunder Mountain. She's also credited with devising some sort of runic protection device to protect dwarves' underground shelters. Now that is a clue as to why these guys would be down here. Okay, they're in underground shelters, and dwarves love to live underground, but it doesn't explain why they're red, why they're chaos. Now, I also saw a reference to Grimnir, so I looked him up, and you know, we all love Grimnir, and this is where he comes from. He's joint husband of Valaya. Imagine that. Patron of warriors and of slayers in particular. That's got to be a dubious honor. Patron of slayers. But anyway, I just thought, you know, joint husband of Valaya. I mean, I didn't know dwarves swung that way. Okay, I also tried to look up this guy, Borgrund Therabenson. And he was the guy in front of the door that was doing all the talking, but there was nothing. I couldn't find anything on him, even in the Warhammer Fantasy Bestiary. So that kind of brought me to the end of the search. And my conclusion, for what it's worth, is I think maybe the fact that the dwarves down there show as chaos or order, or enemy of order, that may just be a glitch, something that, you know, that the I don't know for sure. It could be just, you know, something the devs hadn't gotten to. Or there may be an order quest, which sends you around to find the Sons of Valaya, and maybe they're a rogue faction or something, and you got to go down there and kill them all, because most of the quests in Warhammer tend to be kill missions. So that could be it. But guys, that brings me to the end of this little episode. I do hope you enjoy it, or did enjoy it. I have another one planned. Another place I found way out in elf country somewhere, but you know, I'll get to that. I'll get around to it sometime. But until then, take care. Episode 17, my scenario guide videos will be out soon, and we'll see you in game.
Although I have gazed upon thine visage before, 'tis only by the light of yon moon hast thou true nature revealed itself.